Hello, this is Kara from Kara Tarot with a general reading for Sunday, November 30th, 2025. I'm working today with the Hieronymous Bosch Tarot. I've already shuffled and cut. I'm doing a modified Sybilla spread. So the focus of today's reading is going to need a little coverage. Is the Lovers. Trust, romance, and love. In some systems, they think of the Lovers card as being the choice. Others think of this as not only romantic love, but other kinds of love. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn all of these over, and then we'll talk about how they relate in different formats. This might be a longer reading because I'm going to be reading these in many different directions. So to begin with, I'll just read it linearly, and then we'll talk about some of the other directions. So interesting juxtaposition with the Lovers. Of course, this is often juxtaposed with the sin of lust, sex, passion, extravagant excess. So, and that really is one of the choices that is represented when the Lovers is represented as a choice. It's supposed to be choosing a higher, long-lasting partnership as opposed to the momentary sin of lust. The Surgeon, health, removal of blockages, unnecessary worry. It's worthwhile remembering that barbers and surgeons used to be the same. And that's like Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. At that time, barbers still would have been surgeons. So there was, it wasn't just cutting hair that he was doing. The Baron of Books. Now, books in this suit are like the intellectual part of the air suit. Sexual indiscretion, adultery, misuse of power. And then the Ace of Swords, conflict, victory, communication. And swords in this suit are the other part of the air suit, the cutting through, the active part, the conflict, the diving into conflict. So we begin with the Lovers, and then with this exhortation of make sure you've taken the time to figure out whether this is just a momentary lust, something that you think is wonderful and that you love. Is it a momentary lust? Whichever it is, it's still not going to be able to get rid of any unnecessary blockages, unnecessary worries, any health issues. Those are things that go on concurrently with this. It's looking like somebody's considering an affair, quite frankly, with sexual indiscretions, adultery, misuse of power. And that it's happening through kind of an intellectual, like maybe this is intellectual adultery, somebody that fascinates you, But this is still going to create conflict in the real world of your relationship. And so the wayfarer, the fool, is reminding you that you have choices to make here. You have choices in terms of the path that you're following. You could be adventurous, or you can stick to the things that you know are solid in your life. The Baron of Swords, barons are usually the worst of the suit in this deck. Defeat, cowardliness, injury. If making the wrong choice is going to be leading to these things, to this leading you straight into misery, and you already know this. You already know with this the temptation that's going on that that you could be heading towards the wrong thing. Vessels, religious or spiritual figure, charity, kindliness, the Prince of Vessels. The Prince is more like you might often consider the King in other decks in terms of the Prince or Princess represents mastery. So this is reminding you to find the mastery of your spiritual self, contrasted with this just adventuresome religious or spiritual figure, charity, kindness, reminding you to look again at all of this in terms of, is this going to be your best self acting here? The Knight of Vessels, acquired wealth, business, and poor manager. The knights, as with all of the knights, they kind of dive forward. Vessels are activity, they can be sins or salvation. So currently, your spiritual self is looking towards your best choice, and even raising a glass towards your best choice of the highest love. But the Knight of Vessels wants you to dive right in and make bad decisions. As the wayfarer is deciding, knowing that these choices could be bad choices that will cause a lot of pain, the Knight of Vessels is saying, go ahead, dive right in, because I don't care what happens. I just want to do what I want to do, and it's not going to bother me financially because I inherited my wealth, so just the way people who didn't earn it don't have to worry about it. So that's one way that you're going. That's one direction. Now we want to compare things. I just compared these two. These two they clearly represent your choices here. You have this choice of following the path ahead, making correct choices, looking back and making sure you're making correct choices, or just forging ahead because it seems like it's stupid and fun right now. And you know it's risky. You know it has bad consequences, but those two are just they are in your direct contrast right now. The sin of lust, of course, is self-obvious. And the sin of lust is excess. This is more like cause and effect here. You've got conflict, communications. It may feel like a victory in the moment, but it's causes a lot of conflict. We have this obvious contrast here, making the bad decision and making the good decision. The bad decision is going to lead you to defeat, and injury. The good decision is going to lead you towards charity and kindness. And they almost fit together here. See the way that fits there? But the bad decision is blocking you off from the rest of this image. And they just fit at the top there. And this is unnecessary worry and sexual indiscretion, adultery, misuse of power, removal of this. Acting on these things can feel like a removal of blockages. It can feel like you're doing something healthy and fun. But the results of kissing a pig. I mean, let's make it really literal. You're old enough to know this, that this is not a good thing. Now, your immediate influences are here, this circle right here. We've already discussed how they compare as pairs this way, and then we can look at them this way. Unnecessary worry, cowardliness, injury. You're thinking without your head. This is really obvious here. He's cutting into the head, and this person looks a lot like Donald Trump, doesn't it? This person is operating without a brain. This person, and causing a lot of unnecessary pain. This person is also operating without their head. So you're getting this really strong message. This isn't the smart thing to do. And it's just going to create problems. And here again, then we have, these are, once again, these are the choices, the lower self or the higher self. Rather moralistic reading today. So the question is really strong. It's like, are you going to end up here? Are you just going to go for it? Go for it. Or are you going to be more thoughtful about your choice today? And I think what this reading comes down to today, I'm not going to pull an oracle card today. I'd say this reading comes down to the fact that this is the central focus. What is love? Trust, romance, and love are the key words here, but what is love to you? Is it this or is it this? Or is it this or is it this? Only you can answer that. But you do have to remember the long-term consequences of that answer for yourself. And in your deepest self, we all know what's going to make us happy momentarily. But then the question is, what's going to make you happy long range? Because it's not just about what happens now. It's about what happens after this diving in. And if this feels like this while you're doing it, when you fantasize about something, you always expect it to be the best. And again, so then we come back to what's the ultimately only you can answer what this is for you. And that needs to determine which choice you make. It's like, this is not about transitory. The Lover's card is not about transitory hookups. The Lover's card is about not just a union between two people, but the highest form of union, a blessed union, the kind of union that you can feel good about and that will grow over time. Okay, I wasn't expecting that today, but there we are. A message that could have probably have come directly from Hieronymus Bosch himself, who was quite moralistic and a bit of a religious zealot. So I hope this has meaning for you today. Or on the other hand, I hope this doesn't have meaning for you today. I hope you're not in the midst of this quandary, however exciting it might feel. And I hope you have the strength to follow your truest core. This is Kara from Kara Tarot. Thank you.